I need something. First off, thanks go out to Rapid Kirby 3K for the request. I do appreciate that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to them as soon as I can. For those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. Try and get to them as soon as I possibly can. And this time, the paid request is for Extreme Ops, which I know my friend Mike OCP reviewed it. I think he's one of the only people on YouTube that has reviewed this piece of shit. I don't blame anybody because it is a piece of shit. Now, I know Mike, he said it was like one of the worst films he's ever seen in his life. I cannot give it that honor because I've seen Neil Breen films, I've seen Sasquatch Sunset, I've seen Feeders 2. I've seen a lot of bad ones, but this is definitely one of the worst action films of that 2000s era. Hell, I'd rather watch Ballistics. Is it Ballistic or Ballistics? Whichever fuck. Ballistic X vs. Sever. That movie, Antonio Banderas, I'd rather watch that than this movie. I'm not even kidding. Now, what's sad is the director I like, Christian Duguay, I probably butchered his name. He's done films I've enjoyed. Livewire, very underrated Pierce Brosnan film. Screamers, great Peter Weller sci-fi film. Standards 2 I don't mind. Standards 3 is there. But he's done films I like. The Art of War, I believe he did that with Wesley Snipes. I could be wrong on that. But I didn't mind that film. I thought it was fun. If he did that, I could be wrong. But he's done films I like. This film had a $40 million budget. When it debuted at number 12. It was in 1,800 theaters, and it debuted at number 12 with $378,000. It made maybe $4 million in the U.S., a worldwide total of maybe $10 million. It was a massive bomb. It's a 4 point something IMDb, and I don't blame. Hell, I would give it probably lower. Because this is an era where they really... In this era, they were very much into extreme sports. Extreme of some way, some shape, some form. You had Vertical Limit in 2000. You had Triple X with Vin Diesel the same year as this. On TV, MTV, Extreme is the extreme. Just the Mountain Dew, goddammit. Where's the Mountain Dew? And I guess they felt they wanted to get on that train of thought, but this has terrible acting. Which some people actually like, but I think it's just they're not given anything with the script. The script, and also, as an action film, there's really not much action in it. And it's strange. It's like an hour and 30 minutes or less. So thank God it's not longer. It's about 50 minutes until the inciting incident really happens. Which is very strange to take that long to do that. If you don't want to do that, then you really have to make the audience intrigued by your characters. Now, it does have a couple little action, like stunt work, but even then, there's a handful that are okay, but I mean, you could watch a random music video that had this stuff in it. Hell, you could play video games like Cool Border, Snowboard, what was that on PlayStation? Cool Borders, you could watch that stuff that had little video intros, and that would give you more bang for your buck than this, and then you'd actually play the shit too. I mean, it's definitely no cliffhanger. I'll put it that way. I mean, I don't like Vertical Limit, but even that was better than this. Again, that's a film I don't really like, but I'll put that over this. Now, the people I recognize, you got Rufus Sewell, who I remember from Dark City, very good movie. Devon Sawa, who was in Idle Hands, he was in Final Destination. He had a bit role in Casper as the human form of Casper near the end of the film. Because people think he played the entire character. It's like, no, he was just the human form in that bit. Someone else voiced Casper for the rest of it. He was on that Chucky TV show that thankfully is canceled. And I like Devon Sawa. Rufus Sewell, I think, is a good actor. Bridgette Wilson, who was in Mortal Kombat, the 1995 film, she's Sonya Blade. So it was cool to see her. But my God, these folks are given jack shit to do. Just the plot, Rufus Sewell is a director who makes commercials. We see them in the middle of... And the director's trying to be so fancy with his shots, where there's people BMX riding on their bicycles, or they're skydiving, or now they're kayaking, and the camera's going from, like, they're recording and it's going into the camera and coming out of it. Then stuff happens, and this happens, then it comes out of the video camera. But the thing is, the CGI, when it's going in and out, isn't that great, so it's much more noticeable, especially nowadays. It probably was in 2002. I don't mind the idea that you're trying to make it all this ongoing thing and not break from it. So you're trying to make it seem like it's all in one take, but it just didn't work in this, man. It didn't work in this. I just thought it looked, yeah, flashy, but it was noticeable, and it just took me out of it. Like here's people doing some dangerous stunt work, and here's now this CG kind of transition from one to the other. That kind of, okay. I did it so much that I was almost getting nauseated. So there's a bit where they're supposed to get this shot, but they couldn't get it, and they're hanging off this like waterfall, whatever. They fall. It's a close call. They get to the guy who wanted the shots. He lights it. So now they're going to go to another job, which is to be in like the Alps and to shoot an avalanche. And so now Rufus Sewell is the director. You have this one guy, this asshat, who's Rufus's boss. He's just there to be an asshat, so I'm just going to call him Mr. Asshat. Jeffrey, I think it was the character's name, but the asshat fits him better. Bridgette Wilson is an Olympic medal winning skier. Devon Sawa, I don't know if he was the producer, but they didn't really give him a title. He just seemed like a PA. Go do this, go do that, go get some people. So he gets two people. One's like the hothead who will do crazy stunts. Another's a chick who's a singer. But this goth chick that was probably the worst actor in the fucking movie. She trying to act for shit. What was that line? So sometimes we really suck. And sometimes it really works out. Yeah, sometimes your acting sucks and not goddamn thing about it worked out. Didn't work out for me, the viewer. Didn't work out for my friend Mike. Didn't work out probably you who watched it. For anyone, two of you who watched it. Didn't work out probably your career because you probably didn't do much acting shit. If you did, probably maybe a walk-on role on a reboot of Little House on the Prairie, and that didn't even fucking exist. Someone just probably faked it and said, yeah, go do it so you leave us the fuck alone. They set up a fake Little House on the Prairie reboot for you to fuck around so that you don't get cast in other actual projects because you have to do shit. And really, like, the first chunk in the movie is them just fucking around. When we first see one of the hothead, I'll call Mr. Hothead, he's doing these impossible tricks on the train where, like, he's trying to do a flip, 360 flip. Then he's supposed to do, like, jump, and he kind of does this in a 360 on top of the train, but you tell because it goes from a wide shot. Then when he does it, it goes to an up close shot where it must be this. You could tell he's on a thing doing this. And it cuts back to a wide shot. Very easy to tell. It looked laughable. And then sometimes they have these action bits or a little stunt work that they add the CG additions to that didn't look that good. They take a train. Some of them are jackasses snowboarding behind the train. You know, some decent stunt work there. That lasts, a minute of that. But the editing just seems so haphazard and like edited like a little girl making paper dolls. They tried in this resort, but the hothead and the goth dumbass chick, more of the hothead, like he snowboards on the table and it's like a bar, and so there's a bit of fire as well, and he loses control and crashes through this window, so they can't stay there. So then they decide to stay at this resort in the mountains that looks like it was under construction. And it's just Devon and this other guy, they're filming these people nearby, and they get chased by dogs. And Devon's stunt double does this flip, which you see in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, a guy does this flip to avoid a dog. That's Devon's character, or Devon's stunt double. And while the other guy falls through like lights and stuff, and they escape the dogs. Which I don't know if you ever see those dogs again, to be honest. Or they're going to test out how to make an avalanche. So they actually have missiles. Now, I don't know if commercials can get missiles to shoot at fucking mountains and create avalanches. Like literally like they're ready to kill the tyrant Resident Evil. I'm like, is that how it works? I guess like this one, like it shoots and then you hit a button and it explodes. To be fair, well, fuck no. I mean, even then, it's like, is that really how it's done? You shoot a missile and like again, if you're doing a commercial, doing just a TV commercial, where the fuck do you even find that equipment? eBay? Do you just go to your boss? I need a rocket, missile guidance system and some explosives, and wonder how much that cost them. And even it's just to be used for later, but nothing's really is not really used that effectively later. But it's like whatever. There's a sequence where you see all the characters going down the mountain, snowboarding or skiing, and Bridgette Wilson falls. There's this tension that seems out of the blue and forced between Rufus Sewell and Bridgette, where Rufus Sewell just starts acting like an asshole to her. And then she's like, I'm an Olympic medalist and I should do this better and I don't know why I'm failing. Like non-existent characters given nothing to do. Lack of motivation. Like, why is Rufus so pissed off at Bridgette Wilson? There's this bit where he keeps calling, I don't know, his wife, whoever the fuck he was calling, and that didn't really lead much to anything. Maybe you thought it was going to lead some possible romance, like sexual tension between Rufus and Bridgette, but nothing comes of that. There's this hot tub stuff where, hey, I dare you to do this. Take a drink. Just all this lackluster, lame, dull, boring as fuck filler that you don't give a shit about anything that's going on because you don't know who the fuck the characters are. Devon Sawa, Yeah, honestly, he looked like he was on drugs. I'm not trying to be mean on that. He looked either it was maybe alcoholism. It was drugs or alcoholism that seemed like he was going through at the time. Because he looked a bit bloated. He didn't look that good. He had what looked like shitty dreadlocks. Fuck you are, Jack Black from I Still Know He Did Last Summer. Sometimes he would be in scenes that I wouldn't recognize that was Devon Sawa. I'm like, is that him? Yes, it is him. He didn't look that good in this movie, and he had nothing to do in this film other than, for some reason, have the hots for Kitty, the goth chick who can't act for shit. The singer, she had a band that we saw playing shitty music when we first see her. Rufus Sewell acting like an asshole to Bridgette Wilson and just kind of, directing people where to go. Bridgette Wilson, I guess they made her a character that didn't want to swear. She's like, God dang it, or whatever the hell she said. Oh, that's another thing. This film is PG-13. So talk about like not having any intensity, any tenacity. Yes, there are PG-13 action films that work well. GoldenEye, for example. This is not one of them. And I'll get to that later. Well, I'll get to it now because I don't know what else to say about the first 50 damn minutes. So the bad guys, one is a Serbian terrorist who faked his death, and there's his men, and then there's this, I guess he had a kid. One of them is paranoid of this group and think they're the CIA. If you took one look at these folks, you know they're not the CIA. And if you notice they're fucking snowboarding and doing all this other stuff, no, they're not the CIA. But they're like, no, we gotta make sure. And so these two of the folks, one of them is the son. They pull guns on them, but then the guy wants to be a weirdo pervert and go, you two, everyone take the clothes off, and you two girls, you don't kiss. You don't kiss. Why? Is to jack off and whack off later? Stick the gun up your ass and pull it till it goes click. Or pull your Peter over there. What are you doing? We need to get these guys killed because they may be the CIA, but I also want to see these two girls fuck. What the hell's going on? So there's this one guy, I think his name is, was it Mark or was it? I think Mark. I think that was that guy Mark. He had some explosives. Rufus gives the signal, hits it, distraction. And by this point, the two are arguing because the one guy's like, what the hell are you doing? This is stupid. Oh, I don't know. I will tell my daddy on you. They shoot each other. You don't see much because it's PG-13. So then there's an avalanche, and they got to get the hell out. The avalanche, most of the scenes are really cringy CGI. They go on a trolley, it gets stuck. They have this bit where this one guy, who was like their driver or the guy that could lead them, he like goes to the bad guys and goes, I have information so that I may live. Now, I might have fell asleep instantaneously, like a micro nap, and not notice what happened to that guy afterward. I'm assuming he died. I don't know. But I don't remember seeing him again. This doesn't fucking matter, because who cares? So the characters are trapped in this trolley, and they decide to jump off and go down the mountain, some skiing, some snowboarding. And like I said, this doesn't have that much action. And for a movie about terrorists and bad guys with guns, the characters don't really do much to fight the bad guys, which is kind of, when you make these kind of movies, yes, there are ones that do it where it's about escape. It's about the escape. But with this kind of movie and this kind of tone, this kind of attitude, you think it's going to be okay. They don't fight the bad guys, use their skills to defeat them. Even that, what was that one movie? Masterminds or Patrick Stewart, where the kids like defeating the bad guys. It's like trying to be diehard in a high school, but then if it was Home Alone was influenced. I wasn't really big on Masterminds, to be honest. But I didn't like that film, but I'd rather watch that than this. Because this really was a whole lot of nothing. It was very forgettable. It was not much action, poorly paced, at times very cringeworthy CGI. Like when they go down after escaping the trolley, they get to this ledge, and this is edited so poorly. Where when our Rufus Sewell with the rock, the goth girl singer Kitty, and that because one of her bits got shot off, so she's right with Rufus Sewell, and they almost go off the ledge, and then they're hanging over. But then Devon Sawa's grabbing the girl, but then her pants are coming off, and he's laughing about it. He's like, yeah, I can see your panties. Yeah, I know you're going to die, but I can see your panties. I guess that's why he's laughing. But then the people over here, then there's people over here, then there's people over here. And I could not fathom the environment. Like, where's that person? Is he over here? No, he's over there. Okay, now they're over here, now they're over here. It did not do a good job showing the viewer where people were in terms of the environment. Okay, they're over here, and I'm over there, and that. Okay. It felt very haphazard in its editing. So it just like... It got needlessly confusing in its editing. Who the fuck is where? And then there's not even many bad guys to fight. I mean, it's one helicopter with 3 or 4 people. They get into this gap in the mountain. They get shot at. Devon Sawa takes pictures or video footage. For what reason, I don't know, because that's never used. I don't know if that's ever used later on. Besides, they already got. I thought they already got footage. I might have missed something, and I don't care. You think you got shot, and he's like, "Hey, if I take one for the team, will you go out with me?" But they set up much earlier in the film. He had a parachute, so he jumps off, and Devon Sawa parachutes down, and pretty much does nothing else for the rest of the movie. The one guy who is the hothead, the snowboard, before that he does a thing with the snowboard that flies off and hits one of them people in the helicopter, and he falls to the death, but he gets wounded, gets shot. They patch him up a bit, they separate, and pretty much the one guy, Mark, he does his jump that looks shitty, which you see in the trailer, looks awful CGI, through someone, they hit the tail rotor, blows up the helicopter. And then Rufus Sewell and Bridgette Wilson, they see the avalanche, and we're going to do the commercial. So he's filming Bridgette Wilson with commercial, they both get out of the way, and terrible fucking CGI. And then that's it. They show the commercial. They're successful. Rufus Sewell looks out the window, sees the other people on a train going by. Do the stupid thing where they put all their snowboards off their feet to hit this billboard. Rufus is like, here we go again. And then this movie has constant techno music throughout it. Like, constant. It's like never lets up the techno. Like, can we have other types of music in this too? Instead of just this techno music? Got a bit old quick. And the direction, I thought, was flashy and for the wrong reasons. And it has like a light flashy, so that's not just a boring, dull shot, but this isn't all the bad reasons. Haphazard editing, and sometimes you're not sure on who's where in the environment. Not having much action for people to be excited about. You don't know a damn thing about 99% of these characters, so why should you give a shit? It's kind of hard to have tension for the characters or tension for anything where your inciting plot kicks in 50 minutes in, and even then, it's PG-13. And hell, everybody, all the good guys live, so there's no sense of danger from the bad guys because they can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn. So where's the tension for the characters because the bad guys haven't done anything except this. Okay, they wound one guy, they shoot one person's steez or snowboard to pieces and stuff, but these bad guys are nothing. You're not going to remember a damn thing about this guy other than, oh, he's Serbian. Okay, I don't care. There's nothing to the bad guys. The action scenes are lackluster. The music got tiresome with the constant fucking... you know. For how long it takes to get to the event, you think, oh, that should give you time to build up the characters, and it doesn't. And it took like 3 people to write the fucking movie, somehow. I don't know how, but it did. Extreme Ops, yeah, extremely shitty. Ops. Yeah, I need operation for my fucking heart, from getting stressed out, from ranting on this piece of shit. Opportunity's knocking. And it's going to open the door, and you don't open the door, and it's going to punch you in the face so you forget about it with a concussion. Sorry, hope you forget the shit that you just watched. Nah, sadly, no, because it's written down here. And this will be evidence that I did see it and ranting on it, because it deserves it. How about a decent character to root for? How about any notion of development? Cliffhanger. Look at Cliffhanger. You have Dave Walker, Stallone, and you get the sense him and Michael Rooker have a bond and friendship and history together, as well as Janine Turner and Frank. Uncle Frank. And there's a history between Stallone and Michael Rooker and the inciting incident, and Stallone has to make the choice, and the terror and horror in his face, and he tried to do the best he can, but she dies, and Rooker's look of he blames him when it's not his fault, he did the best he could. That one scene alone was more character development on Stallone and Michael Rooker than anybody in this film for its 90-minute running time. And you want villains, John Lithgow? You know what true love is? Sacrifice. John Lithgow, so great in that, man. Even the other guy, I always forget his name. Fucking A, Quail, you're a fucking Section 8. On my last official manhunt. Adios, motherfucker. As a Travis. As a Rex. I always forget his last name, but I think his characters are Travis. Even the one guy, like the football player, you know, the soccer player, you know, messing with Michael Rooker, he had more personality than anybody in this movie, including the heroes. God damn. Which is why Cliffhanger's a classic, and many other reasons. And this, you probably couldn't sell at a bargain bin in Walmart. I'm sure there's probably big lots for $3 and people wouldn't buy the shit. Because why would they? The cover looks like a video game anyway, and you just go play a video game. You get much more out of it. I guarantee. Fear's the trigger. Yeah, I'm definitely triggered. Here's a trigger. I'm going to pull it. The get on my fucking face, movie. Where's the trigger? I'm the trigger. As shot, motherfucker. But anyway, this movie sucks. It's a terrible movie. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.